make sure that you know that we all human beings, we all on the same earth. So with that being said, you can achieve anything, if not more than what you see other people achieving. And that's facts.
What if I told you the most talented artist of our generation only needed a year and a half? Not 5 years, not a decade, just 18 months. That's all Juice WRLD needed to leave an impact deeper than artists who've been around in the game their entire lives. No gimmicks, no ghostwriters, no pre-written verses, just passion, pain, and pure talent. This is the story of how Juice WRLD became the most talented artist of all time, and how he did it all before the world could even see the full picture.
Yeah, off the top, kicking it, no karate class. Janitor, I'll mop his ass up, chop his ass up. I'm the best at what I do, can't nobody do it better. Your girl a sprinkler system from the way I get her wetter.
Let's start here, the talent. Juice didn't just write songs, he freestyled everything, every single day. It wasn't just a party trick. This man could walk into the studio, hear a beat, and build a masterpiece from scratch without ever touching a pen. On average, he made 6 full songs a night. Most of them were one-take freestyles, no rehearsals, no rewrites. One time he even freestyled for an hour straight on Tim Westwood. Think about that. No stops, no fumbles, no repeating the same bars, all off the dome. That alone puts him in a category by himself. And I mean, his biggest songs, Lucid Dreams, All Girls Are the Same, Robbery, they all started as freestyles. That's not luck, that's just mastery. Now let's talk accomplishments, the numbers. I mean, in just a year and a half, Juice WRLD pulled in 41 billion streams. And when I say that, I mean, he recorded everything in a year and a half, so I think it's only fair to count all those streams from everything he did in the time he was here. Because people have been around forever and they're just too lazy to make music. That's on them. I mean, that's not a typo. 41 billion? I mean, he became the fastest and youngest artist to ever reach that level. He also holds the title for the highest average sales per song out of any artist in history, about 300 million streams per song. Let that sink in, per track. Juice WRLD outperformed everyone, more than Drake, more than Travis, more than Ye, more than Post, in a single year. He sold more albums than anyone in history except for Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift had a global machine behind her. And Juice, he just had a mic, a beat, and a broken heart, for real. So between early 2018 and late 2019, the time he was around as a professional rapper, he dropped 3 major projects: Goodbye and Good Riddance, On Drugs, and Death Race for Love. All 3 albums were legendary. Goodbye and Good Riddance was the perfect introduction. The heartbreak, the pain, the vulnerability, everything was perfect. Tracks like Lucid Dreams and Lean With Me, perfect. World on Drugs. A collab tape with Future, which was alright. One of the biggest names in the game co-signed him early, and Juice held his own. Some would even say he carried the tape. And Death Race for Love. This was the moment he proved he could do it solo. No features, no crutches, and it debuted #1 on the Billboard and stayed there for 2 weeks. I mean, that's an MVP run in just 18 months. No skips, no misses. And don't forget about The Outsiders neither.
Shout out to Juice too, man. Like, yo, that kid was so talented, man. He, like, his freestyle he did on Westwood where he rapped for an hour, like, what the fuck? That's the shit that we used to try to do at the hip hop shop, was like try to work on our freestyles, right? But to be so young, he like mastered that so fucking quickly.
Yeah.
It's really sad, man, that like his potential was so off the charts.
Juice wasn't just making noise with fans, he was earning the respect of legends. Eminem called him one of the greatest freestylers ever. The Weeknd wanted to collaborate with him. Juice had a song with BTS, Young Thug, Future, Billy Idol, Halsey. And those are just some of the few names. There's hundreds of others. And there's so many different clips of so many different people calling him the GOAT and the greatest, but I can't think of them off the top of my head because there's just so many. I mean, he didn't just fit in though. He elevated every song he touched, and he wasn't chasing features. Artists were coming to him.
You know, it was different. I was like 15, he was like 20 or something. I have so many questions that only he would be able to answer. He was battling with fame and addiction. You know, a year before, he was like the biggest singer in the world. Juice was just a regular kid. I'm about to be 20 this year, right? Juice was 21. He just turned 21 when he passed away. I'm taking in right now how young I am because I'm like, damn, I can't imagine the amount of pain and stuff that he was going through and like the suffering that he had to go through at just like 19, 20 years old. That just should not be placed on anybody at that age. It upsets me a lot because I really wish I just wish I was in the position I'm in now back then. I wish there was something in the universe that changed. We had met later so I could be like, oh man, you know what? Like, I understand you, I get you.
Here's something that gets overlooked a lot. Juice WRLD wasn't just great, he helped create other greats. I mean, he literally brought up the Kid Laroi, and he's family to Juice. I mean, he gave him opportunities, energy, mentorship, and everything that the kid could ever need. And it's not just the Kid Laroi. He also brought up other people like Lil Tecca, Jack Harlow, Ian Doran, Dave Blunts. A lot of people don't know about the Lil Tecca, Jack Harlow thing. The only reason Lil Tecca and Jack Harlow even make music now is because Juice WRLD brought them on the scene. And that's something that a lot of people just don't know about. Let's not forget all the new people that are trying to steal everything Juice did word for word, bar for bar, flow for flow. I'm talking about Trippie Redd and who's that new guy on TikTok? Whatever. But I mean, these artists have gone on to do huge things, but they'll all tell you the same thing. Juice WRLD showed them what was possible.
One of the craziest moments ever. Like, I think it did get leaked, but there was 2 versions of the remix. Like, he did a second verse to it.
Oh, okay, damn.
But I remember when I first met him, he heard the song, he was like, hey bro, this flow hard. And that was my first time ever meeting someone that I was like, I seen online, like that was like going crazy at the time, and actually gave me an opinion on my music. I never heard an opinion on my music from another artist that was like really going crazy. It really meant a lot, bro. All the stuff that he would say to me and shit like that. And actually seeing him work, actually seeing it.
A master at work.
Like seeing it in person though, like it was crazy, bro.
Now let's talk about Juice live. There's no lip syncing, no backtrack, no doing all the same thing. Juice rapped live, sang, freestyled, everything live. The shows were more than concerts. They were therapy sessions with a mosh pit. You'd see fans crying during Empty and jumping out their skin during Armed and Dangerous. I mean, it's insane. The energy was real. You could feel it in your chest, and the crazy part, it was all natural. He never needed auto-tune or studio tricks to carry him. Juice WRLD's voice carried the room. Even in the short time the industry couldn't ignore him. He won 2 Best New Artist awards, packed out festivals like Rolling Loud and Lollapalooza, and was booked worldwide before he even hit his second mainstream year. And after his passing, his posthumous album Legends Never Die debuted at #1 and broke streaming records across multiple platforms. He wasn't even alive to promote it, and it still took over the world. That's how deep his music resonated. It became the biggest posthumous album of all time. More than the stats, more than the music, Juice WRLD gave us something artists rarely do: his soul. He rapped about heartbreak, addiction, trauma, anxiety, love, regret, and hope. He spoke the thoughts most people were afraid to admit out loud. He made music that felt like therapy, and he never held back. That's why fans feel like they knew him, even if they never met him. Juice wasn't just an artist, he was a voice for the broken, the misunderstood, and the ones who felt lost but kept going. And that's just one side of his music. He has thousands of other genres and abilities he could tap into. He could fit on any song, any track, any vibe, any flow, anything he could do.
Bitch, I'm the flame, nigga. Waka flocka, oh, let's do it. I'm the flame.
Kool-Aid Jammer.
Hey, Kool-Aid Jammer. I'm towing the hammer. Free all my niggas locked up in the slammer. Just like a fool, bitch, I'm going
Louis
bananas. Louis Vuitton on the belt, Louis Vuitton on the shirt too. Run up on me, get murked too. R. Kelly with that bitch, I may just go flirt.
Nintendo Switch.
I switch like Nintendo. Pull up on him, rhymes off of the mental. Explode like pop when you drop one mental. Hey, bitch, I'm dope, no antidote. Pull up on the scene with a chopper, the fofo. Pull up with a photo, hanging out a photo. Dragging like a modo, pose like a photo.
Audemars wrist.
Audemars wrist with the AP, this so cold, run it back, go replay me. Pull up on the scene, 444 Jay-Z, hit a nigga with a combo, like pay me, fuck you. Pull up on the scene like, I'ma buck you. Nug if you buck, run up on me, I buck too. Chop on me and it cups like a buck or two.
Where you see him 72 years.
And the craziest part of all of this, he did everything we just talked about in a year and a half. Imagine 5 years of Juice WRLD, imagine 10. Imagine the albums, the collabs, and the evolution. I mean, we were watching the early chapters of one of the greatest stories in music history, and we lost him before the second act. Even in just 18 months, Juice WRLD built a legacy that will never, ever be forgotten.
I haven't taken a vlog in like 7 years, bro. Hey, anyway, I just want to thank y'all for 1,000 subscribers, like for real. I mean, I've been doing this for like a really long time, but I've only been taking it serious like the past like 6 or 7 months. But for real, I just want to say thank you. And there's a lot of good stuff on the way. Like, for real, there's a lot of good stuff on the way. So, subscribe if you like the video, for real. And I appreciate y'all, every single one of y'all, for real. Yeah, I'm gay.